I do want to dive a little deeper into the male response here. You joined Senator Elizabeth Warren and Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill in introducing the act. What about male lawmakers specifically? What has been their response?
I will say I think this is less a gender issue largely in Congress than a generational one. So I will say that we have a lot of amazing male colleagues who have young kids themselves who completely understand the need for investments in childcare. Jimmy Gomez, congressman from LA, has talked a lot about how he and his wife have tried to make caregiving equitable in their family and how difficult that is, and how he gets thanked for taking care of his kids when she's just expected to do it, even though the care burden should really fall equally on both of them. And so I think there are a lot of younger male colleagues of mine who do have young kids who are pushing for this issue and understand how important it is. And I really do think this is a generational issue where we are seeing millennials who, by and large, graduated from college during the Great Recession at the peak of our earning potential, had COVID, and just really haven't been able to have the supports that we need to be able to do things that earlier generations, I think, kind of took for granted, like buying houses and raising families.
Aside from being a generational issue, do you also see this being a bipartisan issue? You're a Democrat, and both Senator Elizabeth Warren and Congresswoman Sherrill are also Democrats. Have you gotten bipartisan support so far?
So at the moment, this bill is only being supported by Democrats in Congress. But I will say that the American people, including the majority of Republicans, want Congress to invest in quality early care and education and understand how important childcare is for the growth of our economy. And I think this is just another reflection of the fact that the Republicans in Congress are actually so far removed from their constituents who, by and large, want investments in childcare, by and large, support issues like reproductive health care. And I think we are seeing that divide continue to increase. And I'm hopeful that there are some of my Republican colleagues who will start to see that too. I know when I have private conversations, some of them really understand the need for this, especially the ones with young kids. And actually, I was a member of the Select Committee on Economic Disparity and Fairness and Growth. And one of the hearings we had, actually, the Republican witness was the one making the case for why we needed to invest in childcare. So this is a bipartisan issue, even if it doesn't look like that with my colleagues here in Congress.
I know you said you had private conversations with your Republican colleagues about this, but do you have any names, any specific lawmakers on the GOP side that you anticipate receiving support from on this legislation?
So on this legislation, we haven't started working on getting bipartisan support, but I will say I have been doing a lot of work with some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, especially Stephanie Bice from Oklahoma, around military housing and military childcare, and making sure that we're supporting our military families as they are needing that care. And I'm hopeful that we'll be able to continue doing that work and that we'll be able to broaden that to more of the population.